Gulf leaders genuinely want to ensure there is peace and security and good diplomatic relations with Israel. I traveled to Saudi Arabia at the invitation of the Saudi government in late 2023, and I had great hope that the rapprochement brokered by China between Iran and Saudi Arabia, between Israel and Saudi Arabia, all that will work. But the Hamas attack that was staged just after my visit to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has disrupted that. It is in the long-term interest of the Gulf countries to stop this war, because the Gulf countries were doing brilliantly. All these countries moved away from extremism, moved away from terrorism, and they realized that they must focus on economy and good diplomatic relations. Many of these countries had very narrow views driven by religious extremism, religious exclusivism, but today they have great visions and plans. But this has been disrupted by a terrorist attack. They must not give in to this. So they must again make sure that the Abraham Accords work. They must make sure that there is rapprochement between Israel and the Muslim and the Arab world. The world must also understand the Gulf countries and sympathize with the leaders. Gulf leaders genuinely want to ensure there is peace and security and good diplomatic relations with Israel. Of course, the Muslim leaders can't openly identify themselves with Israel because of the huge Palestinian civilian death toll. The Arab street will rise against them and the rulers will be displaced. It is because of three reasons. One is, for a long time, the Arab leaders and the Muslim religious leaders have been speaking ill of Israel, which they should not. They have radicalized their own communities. So people are very suspicious of Israel. They are very resentful of the Jewish people. The second reason is, of course, the Israeli military operations created a huge death toll of Palestinian civilians. The third is that the Arab leaders who want a rapprochement with Israel, they have to do this over a period of time. They were trying to do it super fast because they were very ambitious leaders. For example, MBS, MBZ, these are very visionary leaders. And I think that to change the public opinion of the people takes time. But I think that this moment can be seized, and the Arab leaders and the world leaders should explain to their populations. Peace in the Middle East is vital for the security of the Middle East and the world. So the public understanding, public awareness should be raised why it is important to do that. And this should start with the Gulf, because the Gulf leaders are already committed to peace. The world will be very unsafe if this conflict escalates. It can even lead to World War III. And only leaders of that caliber, of that intellect, of that training and education can prevent and preempt escalation.